Welcome to this discussion and reflection on why we remember stars at Christmas. Stars have this magical connotation and very spiritual. When we look at stars, they connect us to something beyond our limited experience. They guide us. And in dream analogy, they say it symbolizes truth, hope, and the spirit. And in a way, it is like taking us out of the ordinary consciousness. And also a kind of detachment. Somehow, subconsciously, when we look at stars, it draws us to a bigger map. And it's useful. It's like reminding us of this awesomeness of our universe. Even this planet is moving at 30 kilometers a second through space. And subconsciously it connects us to that, a wonder of that. And they see even our physical bodies are made of stardust, old stars. But there's something even more profound there, that expansiveness which we get when we feel that expansion in our minds. The spiritual model suggests that we are actually more like these sparkling stars than the limits of these physical bodies. So let's experiment. What does that mean, and how can it really be practical as I have my head in the sky, the feet on the ground, and I'm going about my daily life? So let's create a few moments to experiment. And wherever we are, it's like hopefully a sitting posture is good for meditation, but however we are, wherever we are, I start by consciously relaxing the body. And also encouraging deeper breaths rather than shallow. And I accept the environment that I find myself in, any movement, sounds. We contemplate that we are observing this body and this environment as drivers, and the body is like the car. And the driver is more like a sparkling star, the being. And to start by seeing the sparkling star in the center of the forehead, just behind the eyes, cannot be seen but can be understood and experienced. And the natural nature of this star is of deep peace and silence. When we accept the environment around, it allows us to open up to this experience of this sparkling star that is observing through the windows of this body, this car. And this star is able to feel secure no matter what is happening, because the driver is not an extension of the car. Driver is distinct, so someone can criticize the car, but it's not the criticism of the driver. Something can go wrong with the car, but it's not a reflection of the driver. There are limitations with the car, but it's not the limitation of the driver. The driver is a guest in the car, and a guest on this amazing planet. Thank you. I wonder if you found that was easy, if it's an experiment you've done before, but it's curious to consider this real freedom. And it's so easy to see the driver is not an extension of the car. So let's take another short experiment. This time we start from a high view, just like we feel the benefit of seeing from any high building or from a mountain. Even when we fly, we see a very different view, which brings such a nice, fresh perspective. So again, I check the body feels comfortable and accepting the world and the situations as it is right now. And I take this opportunity to see this scene from above, which means everything that happened today, this week, happened down below on a tiny landscape. Everything is there, but it is far, far down below. It looks small. From here, it looks more like a story world or a toy world. You can focus the attention on the sky. The sky is the resting place and home of this traveler and guest. Here there is no change, no end to anything. You see the sky in the image of gentle red light, like a setting sun. And for concentration, using the image of the star. In this changeless, timeless sky. This experience, nothing needs to change to feel full and completely peaceful. In this atmosphere, the innermost being, the true self, as if wakes up. That true self, that sparkling star, is independent from the roads in the far distant landscape down below. So there is complete freedom, unconditional peace, lightness, freedom and space. And the security, because peace is not dependent on something temporary. It's in the core of the true self. It's a relief to be connected to that. Nothing has changed down below, just the positioning. Free to come and visit this sparkling star consciousness that is the true self, visiting this scene right now with a mind free from distraction based on insecurity. Thank you. I like this aspect that, yes, we definitely need to be practical, and we may be very busy, whatever we need to do, or things we need to take care of. But it's like the option to do it from emotional freedom. So even if it's a few seconds, it's this option to see from above, and it brings a freshness, so you can sort of solve things more effectively rather than being stuck in a fog of procrastination and cyclical thinking. You know, that energy you get when you speak to a friend and they say, oh, why didn't you just do this, this, this? And they're so fresh, they don't have the overthinking on the subject, so they can see it in an objective way. And how great to do that for ourselves. So this sparkling star we're seeing is the spiritual premise, is really the clean, fresh, bright light, true self, and independent from the temporary, ever-changing roles. It's really feeding and nourishing a deep security. If I'm invested in my mind that these roles are like the source of my peace or happiness or self-respect, then I get into that distraction mind which is pulled to those things in my mind to be complete. I need those things to be right. Of course, we may be in the habit of that, but even for a minute, we can turn it round and see a different view. And that becomes a reference point, just that shift, even if it's a glimpse of such a freedom that doesn't rely on anyone or anything. That's so precious. So really celebrating the moments that we get that. And finally, really to complete this image of the star, you can contemplate what would it be like to come into this world from that view. when there is that inherent peace, then the feelings are much more around wanting to give. Actually, everyone is deeply worthy of this true self-respect and peace, has a right to that. So in our thoughts and vision, we can be preoccupying ourselves with the positive view on others, which of course is benefiting ourselves firstly. So this benevolent star, peaceful star, lucky star. Enjoy your season of peace. Enjoy your discovery and have a very good day.